What's up, my wealthy babies? We are back with another video. Now with today's video, actually this year, I wanted to try something different. I wanted to start a series. It's like a girl chat, but I'm gonna call it Let's Talk About It. Okay, and Let's Talk About It is just gonna be different episodes of me talking about trending topics, mental health, relationships, friendships, so on and so forth. So we just have this time where we get really personal and we just do what girls do. We talk and we talk about our problems with each other. So I'm okay with getting personal in here. And yeah, that's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. This is something new that I'm starting and I'm so excited to start it. Don't mind me, I might be a little nervous. So let's get into this video. Chose to start this Let's Talk About It series with the topic of how toxic relationships are addictive. If you're in a toxic relationship, girl, get out. Don't think that shit is fun. I'm just gonna start there. Like, if you're in a toxic situation and you telling yourself, oh, I love him or I love her or whoever you with, you love that person, and it's toxic, it's time to leave. I'm an advocate of being in toxic relationships. I am. I was in a toxic relationship back to back. Even when it came to dating, back to back. It was like I just kept picking the same dudes over and over and over again. And I had gotten to the point where I was just like, when it came to love and relationships, I was done. For me, I had really lost hope for love and relationships because, I kept dating the same type of dudes. I kept running across the same type of dudes, and I didn't understand why. But as I got older, I understood why I used to date a lot of the same type of guys. And I'm not gonna lie, it also took for me to be in a relationship that I'm in now to realize why I kept dating the same type of dudes. The reason why I kept getting in toxic relationships was because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value. And most importantly, I did not know how to be loved or how I should actually be treated. I had experience in my life when I was a teenager, when I was younger, being mistreated by a lot of different dudes, and I was taking it. And I stuck around a lot of times, not being loyal, but it was just like, at least I have this. I accepted what I got because I really wanted love. So I ended up being in toxic relationships that I didn't deserve to be in. If I knew how healthy relationships actually look like as a child, maybe I wouldn't have dealt with, the shit that I dealt with in my toxic relationships. Like, I didn't have a mother my mother passed away when I was 4. So I didn't have a mother around to show me and teach me to be a woman, to know my worth and my value. I had to go through life to find my worth and my values. You know what I'm saying? So if I never went through those toxic relationships, I would have never even learned, my own worth and my own values. I didn't have a father to show me or to tell me how a man should treat me. That's number one. As a woman, as a daughter, as a young lady, I feel like it's very important for a father to actually show their daughters how they should be treated by men or young boys or whatever. If you don't have that as a woman, you don't know. So you end up, for me personally, I ended up in a lot of like bullshit ass relationships. I ended up in relationships where I wasted 3 years of my high school life being with somebody who kept cheating on me. They kept like, the relationship I was in high school was so fucking toxic. I should have left when I seen the first red flag of the relationship when my ex told me that he had feelings for his ex. But I didn't leave because I was just like, well, I know you have feelings for me. I know how you feel because you told me this. Like, we vibing real good. So maybe, like, because our relationship is fresh, it gives you time to get over her. So I'm a person, I'm patient. I'll wait for you to change or whatever you gotta do. I'll wait. I believe that, maybe one day he'll change because don't nobody really know how our relationship is. They just see from the outside. You didn't know from what was going on within our relationship. And that was a huge, big ass excuse that I gave for myself to stay in that relationship. I should have left when he told me that he still had feelings for his ex, instead of staying there. But what for me was, I wanted to feel love. So that little bit of love that I was receiving from my old relationship, I thought that it just meant so fucking much. I thought it was everything. I was just like, oh my God, this is my first real relationship, and this is how it goes. I can sit here and be honest and say I allowed myself to be in that toxic relationship because what? I want to be loved. And some people just don't understand that. Definitely when you're young and stuff like that, you might not comprehend that, or you might not see that maybe the reason why you stayed in that toxic relationship is because deep down inside it's just like you think that this is how you should be loved. I look at toxic relationship as a cycle, okay? Because in the beginning of the relationship, it starts off in the puppy love phase. When y'all talking all night, everything cute, you really like feelings. The feelings y'all have for each other is very passionate, very strong. You know, y'all vibing, everything is good. But then it gets to the next cycle of, okay, somehow, some way, things start to get rocky. Things start to get shaky. Either he getting distance, either he's cheating, y'all arguing too much, something. And for this time, it's just like, it seems like things are just bad for, I'm not going to say a long period of time, but it just seems like things aren't getting good at all. You know, which leads to the next stage of the relationship where y'all break up, y'all separate, y'all not together. You know what I'm saying? And it might be weeks, it might be months, it might even be, it better not be no fucking years, but for some it might be years. You know what I'm saying? And when that person that left, either you broke up with him or he broke up with you, whatever happened, that person winds up coming back. And how they know that they can't come back on the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They can't come back to you just not like, you know, they can't come back to you on the same shit that they was on when y'all was on bad terms. That person's coming back to you all lovey-dovey, making you feel good, telling you that they miss you, telling you that they love you or whatever, feeding your head up. Y'all might even end up having sex. You get what I'm saying? And then y'all wind up getting back together, which puts you back in the puppy love phase. See, for me, I always view toxic, like I said before, toxic relationship is a cycle. And when you constantly allow yourself to keep going and going and going through that same cycle, it gets addictive. You get used to it. I was definitely used to being in my toxic relationship. That's why I was in there for about 3 years. I was in a relationship for 3 years, and that's what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Where it started off as good. You know what I'm saying? The puppy love phase, everything good, we vibing. And then all of a sudden he's getting distance. We arguing. I'm looking through his phone. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what you got going on? And then all of a sudden, either I break up with him, he break up with me. You know what I'm saying? And then we're separated. But the thing was, for me, we weren't separated that long. We'd be separated for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And then, no shade, he always came back. I won't go back. Because why would I'm mad. Why would I go back and I'm upset? I'm still mad. I became addicted to being in that toxic relationship because it was just like that cycle that I allowed myself to go through. And also it's like I lied to myself so many times thinking like, okay, well, he's going to change, and believing so much of his words more than his sin. Believing so much of his words than actually paying attention to his actions. For some who've been in a toxic relationship, you know what I'm saying, or may be in a toxic relationship, you are familiar with that cycle that I'm talking about. Where everything start off good, everything's good, peaches and cream, whatever. Y'all lovey-dovey. That's your man, that's your boo. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it's starting to get rocky a little bit. And you holding off because you may not want to trip. You might say something to him like, okay, what's going on? He might tell you like, man, you tripping, what is you talking about? He knows exactly what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? But he's just playing these games and shit like that. And then after things been rocky, in your mind as a woman, you want to like, all right, my man is not acting right. He's not acting like how he usually act. Like, what is wrong? What's going on? So as a woman, sometimes you go searching. Is that okay? No, because I had to learn. I had to learn, like, if you go searching for some shit and you see it, and you see what the fuck is in that phone, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is, you go searching for it and you see something you don't like, you either better be prepared to leave. And if you ain't prepared to leave, don't be bringing up no shit. For what? Because then you making him just be more sneakier. That's besides the point. that's besides the fucking point. But, you know, like I'm saying, like, when you in that rough patch and he's acting different and you know he acting different, but he's trying to play like you tripping and you don't know what the fuck you talking about, you know what I'm saying? It calls you to go snooping. Natural instinct. You're gonna look, you're gonna investigate to see like what is going on. And then you end up finding something and y'all break up. And you hurt. As a woman, you gonna be hurt. You know what I'm saying? And naturally, why would you go back to somebody that hurt you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't just be like, okay, well, let's make this work out. Now, this motherfucker cheating on you or doing some off the wall shit. You're not, as a woman, you're not gonna make the initiative to go back to him. Eventually, he's gonna come back. And like I said before, we all know when that man coming back and let's talk about it. I want to talk to you in person. Y'all might talk about it, but you gotta pay attention to how that conversation goes. Is he dismissing what you saying or trying to make it seem like everything was on you? Is he really give you a chance to express yourself? And he's listening to your pain and y'all having a healthy conversation between each other about why he did what he did or why the situation happened the way that it did or whatever the case is. Are y'all having a healthy conversation about it to be able to move forward from it and to work on it? Or is he just trying to speed through that conversation and be like, yeah, man, you right, woo, woo, I should never did that, I'm sorry, woo, woo. And the relationship's not healthy. He's trying to rush through the conversation so he can get you back, so y'all can go and have sex. Because men not stupid. They know how to, once they want a dude got you, he know how to get you back every time. After y'all had y'all conversation, everything good, and you know you missed this man. Your emotions is high. You know what I'm saying? You love him. So it's just like, as a woman, you're not thinking of it as like, nah, I'm gonna keep him in the doghouse because you fucked up and I don't deserve that shit. Like, you got me fucked up. Like, who do you think I am? You think I deserve to be treated like this? Or you think I'm one of them other bitches that you messing with? Or you think I'm somebody else, like, you know, just to be playing with? I know my worth. Don't play with me like that. For some, they don't. You in a toxic relationship. You constantly in a toxic relationship. You don't know your worth. You know what I'm saying? You don't know your value. So you're not even thinking of that in that moment. You thinking with your emotions. And you thinking like, damn, I miss this dude. I miss him. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna let him back in. He gonna slither his little sneaky ass back in. And then y'all might end up having sex. Or y'all might end up together. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? You back in that cycle. Y'all back together. Because he might ask you, or you might ask him, so what now? Are we together? Is everything cool? Baby, I love you. He gonna sweet talk your ass back into that relationship. And you stuck in that cycle of being addicted to that damn relationship. I call men predators that's in toxic relationships or constantly keep getting in toxic relationships, and they love that shit. They thrive off that shit. They love to make women upset and shit like that. Like, they thrive off being in toxic relationships, and they thrive off that toxic drama and shit like that. I call those type of men predators. Also, those type of men love having a shit ton of women just like attached to them. You know what I'm saying? They love to have all these women like don't want to let their ass go because he got so many options and he can do whatever girl have way he doing because he knows that, okay, I got this girl hooked. That's why I call those niggas that love to be in toxic relationships predators, because I don't know if anybody ever realized, right? This is what some men do, where he likes you, He like how you looking or whatever the case is. 9 times out of 10, his intentions is not pure. He just want to fuck. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a thigh wow. Okay? He want to fuck. But sometimes, however long it takes him to fuck, he is going to stay there. Toxic predators are good to having a mask on. They don't want to show you what they want you to see. But you won't see the real him until you all caught up and you can't let this man go. In the beginning of it all, what you see is y'all vibing. You know what I'm saying? He might be able to talk about anything. He might be a funny dude. Y'all just have a good vibe with each other. You know, whatever the case is, he's gonna do whatever it takes for him to get you. Take you on dates. Shit, hell, some of them might even just wait to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? To fuck your head up and be like, yeah, I'm different than most of these niggas. I don't want to just have sex with you. This type of dude will wait so long to get you and get to know you, study you, see how you are. What's your weaknesses? What's your strengths? Do you actually love yourself? Do you care? Do you value yourself? Do you know your worth? Because these type of dudes, these toxic dudes, they not dating no girl that know their worth and their values because they wasting their time. You ain't gonna go nowhere with her. Man, that shit too hard. I don't even want it. I'd rather get somebody that's a little bit easier. You know? A man studies women. They might play like they done. They might be a little stupid, but they study the fuck out of you. You know? And just do things to get you. And over those times of y'all getting to know each other, he might develop a little bit of feelings for you. He might fuck with you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to allow himself to get too deep in his feelings. Somehow, some way, y'all end up in a relationship. And now you got to ask yourself, how fast did you get in your toxic relationship? Was it weeks? It better not be no fucking weeks. Was it weeks? Was it months? When you start feeling this dude, and what did this dude do to get you? You really got to look at that. What did this nigga do to get me to, and I didn't even want him for real. That would be the killer part. I didn't even want you for real, but I gave you a chance and you want to play me? Like I said, that the toxic predator do what he got to do to get you and have you hooked to him. Sometimes that has sex. Sometimes just vibing out. However, what he got you hooked, a man knows when he got you hooked. Because a man knows when you really like him, when you love him, when you feeling him. And then when you get to that point of the relationship, that mask start to come off. And then you start to just be like, what the fuck is this? Because as women, we stay through bullshit sometimes. We're able to handle when shit is just rocky. But at this time, when he started to show his mask, you all the way in love with this nigga. You all the way like you feeling him, like you know you hooked. You know you deeply like in love because it's just like, man, you showed me all this. You made me feel this way or whatever the case is. And I don't want to leave you. At that moment, that's when you should leave. But you don't leave. Well, actually, you do leave. Most of us do leave. I left. Then I got right back in it. How did I get right back in my toxic relationship? Oh, because he came back. He became the same person he was when I first met him. Or when I first started, you know, liking him or whatever. That person came back. He put the mask back on when he wanted to put the mask back on to get me back in. And then as women, we think, because we're emotional, we think like, okay, well, maybe they change. Like, I know this person loved me. He will change one day. I'll just wait. Giving excuses to the red flags when you should actually just leave. That's the reason why I call men that like to be in toxic relationships toxic predators, because they do that with so many women. They like to have all these cycles with so many women, and they just don't give a fuck. So sometimes you become toxic your damn self because you can stay in that toxic relationship so long. I ain't gonna lie, for me, I became toxic. I became toxic in my old relationship because when the first time he hurt me, I was like, nigga, that's the last time you gonna hurt me. Like, what? I want you to hurt just like how I hurt. What makes a man really hurt is you leaving. The truth is, he wasn't hurting like how I hurt. Because he didn't give a damn. He still did what he was doing. But unconsciously, I didn't realize that how addictive I was just to being in that relationship. The drama was addicting. You know what I'm saying? The love was addicting, and it wasn't real love. The person that's been in a toxic relationship, you don't turn into the person that hurt you. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, it has to stop. It has to end. Because all you're doing is creating cycles. And then when you move on to the next person, guess what? You're creating that same cycle with somebody else. You gotta know your worth. And if you're a woman, a person that knows your worth and value yourself, you're not gonna keep coming across a toxic relationship. You gotta really ask yourself, is that love worth it? Is this man or this person really worth me being in this relationship, or constantly keep going through this shit, having all this negativity, this drama in my life? Unless you're somebody that like to be in drama and being bullshit all the time, and that's you. And that's a whole nother story of why you gotta ask yourself why you keep going through that bullshit, or why you like drama. Because life is way more peaceful without being with somebody who can't love you right. And I understand being in a healthy relationship can get scary, because sometimes you might have this baggage from your last relationship and you did not allow yourself to heal from, and they might do something that's not intended to hurt you, but it might trigger you because you didn't see that in your past relationship, and now you sabotage this relationship that you in with somebody that actually loves you. You gotta take the time out to heal from your toxic relationships instead of trying to get into relationship after relationship after relationship, because all you're doing is holding baggage. It's okay to date yourself. Be single. Figure out who you are, your worth, and your value. Do research on what healthy love look like so you will know how you should be treated. It's okay to do research. It's just you. You gotta know these things in order to stop the cycle of being in a toxic relationship. If you don't stop those things, you're gonna be addicted to it. Like when you see Chrisean and Blueface, she said so many times this man feel like home. But as we know, as we see, what does Chrisean home look like? Toxic, drama, dysfunctional. So she's used to seeing that type of toxic love, and she sees that with Blueface. So Blueface feels like home, and what they doing, that's not real love, that's trauma bonding. That's what all toxic relationships are. It's a piece of something that's within you that you have lacked when in your own childhood, and they feel familiar. And sometimes toxic relationships can be very, very passionate. When the chemistry, the bond is so strong between the two, the love seems so passionate. You know what I'm saying? And even for some people, they might just be like, damn, you really love this person, or they really love you. Like, they see the love, but the love is so toxic because two individuals don't know how to love each other because they never seen love. Sometimes that happens of why toxic relationships are addictive, because two people that have been through the same shit attract. It's another example of how toxic relationships are addictive. The love that is between y'all is the same type of toxic ass love that you experienced in your childhood. At some point, it has to end. And no matter how much you love somebody, sometimes you gotta love somebody from a distance, because at some point, you're gonna get tired. And you're gonna know that, yeah, I kind of deserve better. I don't need this shit. And that can be you. Toxic relationship is not okay. Do not sit around and wait for somebody to change. If that relationship is just draining you and just taking so much out of you and you losing yourself and you had enough, leave. Stop trying to get that man back, breaking his shit, slashing his tires. What else these girls do? Bleaching his clothes to make him hurt, because 9 times out of 10 he might be mad, but he don't give a fuck. Because a real man that make money, I can get that back. That's just clothes. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You're embarrassing yourself and getting out of character for somebody that you love that don't love you. Let's keep it real. No matter how you try to sauce this shit up, that man don't love you for real because he don't know how to love. He can only love you the best way he knows how. And the love that he's giving you is not enough. So it's time to leave. Leave that shit. It might hurt. And sometimes while you're trying to leave or you're trying to detach from that relationship, you might slip up and fuck up and might end up back in that relationship. But don't end up back in that relationship blinded. And like, oh, I just love him, and you just blinded by love being a dumbass. If you someone and you just want to just keep giving it a chance because you love him, okay, cool. You putting yourself through more pain, but sometimes some people do that. Sometimes it takes for people to just keep going through the shit to get tired of it, to get tired of the bullshit. I'm just gonna let you know you don't have to. You don't need to allow yourself to go through all that pain just for him to make him realize, I love you. Why don't you just love me? Why don't you just stop doing this bullshit so we can be together, so things can be right? If he's not realizing that you are the one and you're the woman for him, maybe you're not the woman for him. You can't make a man realize how much you actually care or love him. The only thing you can do is love yourself and leave. You gotta be strong enough for yourself to leave that toxic relationship alone. Leave that man alone. Stop giving him access to you. And actually give yourself time to date you, get to know you, learn from what you allowed in that relationship. Learn why did you even been in that toxic relationship, why you keep getting in a toxic relationship. Date you. Love you because you need you. You don't need that man. Okay? And that's basically all I gotta say. I just hope this conversation helped a lot of women out. This is why I'm starting a series of Let's Talk About It, because I'm gonna keep it blunt. I'm gonna keep it real, because I never had nobody keep it blunt with me. When I was in my toxic relationship, I had people laughing at me or talking about me behind my back. That was supposed to be my friends. You gotta make a change for yourself so you won't be addicted to a toxic relationship. And if you honestly want to be loved better and you feel like you deserve better love, are you giving yourself that love? Are you actually loving yourself how you deserve to be loved? Because how can you want to be loved and treated right by a certain person, but you're not giving yourself that? What sense does that make? None whatsoever. So it really takes time for you to just dig deep and do some deep work on yourself in order to stop being in a toxic relationship. You gotta want it. It's not gonna be easy. And yes, that man might try to keep coming back and try to keep getting you back in their lives. But you can't be that dumbass and let him back. No matter how you may feel, leave that man where he at. And he's gonna regret ever fumbling you. And you're gonna be living your life happy. I really like this conversation. I feel like it's a good first episode for Let's Talk About It. Like I said, I wish I would have learned. I wish I would have had somebody that been blunt with me, told me straight up, like, girl, are you dumb? Like, what the fuck? But I didn't. And if I can be that somebody that will inspire or be like a big sister or a virtual friend to people out there that just need an ear, that need somebody to talk to, or need somebody just to know that, okay, I have somebody that can relate with me, I can be that person. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm an honest person. I'm not somebody that's gonna sugarcoat shit and tell you some shit to make you happy. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. Let's not forget, leave your comments down below. Give this motherfucking videos a thumbs up and tell me what you like, what you don't like. What's another topic that I should talk about? If you're not subscribed, then what the fuck are you doing? You're missing out on some good ass content. Y'all already know the memo. So go ahead and subscribe. I'll be posting every Sunday and Thursday. That is my new schedule. I'll be posting Sunday at 10 a.m. and I'll be posting every Thursday at 4 p.m. So click that notification bell down below so you can be the first to get notified when I post. So thank you for watching, and bye my babies.